Everyone says they want to get closer to God. But if we're honest, most of us don't really know what that looks like. We go to church, read a few verses, say a quick prayer before bed. And yet, sometimes it still feels like God is distant. Not because he's gone anywhere, but because we've filled the space between us with noise. Getting closer to God doesn't happen by accident, it happens by intention. It's not about trying harder, it's about drawing nearer. James 4:8 says, "Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you." That means closeness with God isn't a reward, it's a response. When you take a single step toward him, he takes 1,000 toward you. So how do you draw near? It starts with honesty. God doesn't want your performance, he wants your presence. He already knows your flaws, your doubts, your fears, your failures. He's not impressed by your perfection, he's moved by your surrender. Talk to him like you would a friend. Not with fancy words, but with real ones. Tell him what you're afraid of, what you don't understand, what you need help with. Because prayer isn't about information, it's about connection. When you open your heart honestly, you'll start to sense his presence more clearly. Then, spend time in his word, not just reading it, but letting it read you. Scripture isn't just ink on a page. It's the living voice of God speaking into your life. When you open the Bible, you're opening a conversation. You're saying, "God, speak, I'm listening." But closeness also comes with quiet. You can't hear God if you're always filling the silence. Sometimes we want a word from him, but we never slow down long enough to listen. God doesn't shout to compete with the world, he whispers to those who lean in. When you make space for stillness, when you put the phone down, silence the noise, and just sit with him, you'll start to realize he was never far away. He was waiting for your attention. Getting closer to God also means trusting him in the unseen. Faith grows when you stop, depending on feelings, and start depending on his promises. You won't always feel close to God, but that doesn't mean he's gone. Your emotions change, his presence doesn't. The closer you walk with him, the more you realize he's in every detail. In the delay, in the struggle, in the silence, even in the detours. Sometimes the reason you don't feel close to God is because he's stretching your faith to make room for more of himself. He's teaching you not just to seek his blessings, but to seek his heart. So today, take one step closer. Pray even if it's just, "God, I want to know you more." Open his word even for 5 minutes. Turn off the noise for a while. Choose to make room for his presence. Because the distance you feel isn't permanent, it's an invitation. Say it today. "Lord, I don't just want to know about you, I want to know you." Getting closer to God isn't about striving, it's about surrendering. And when you draw near to him, he always draws near to you.